Now we are going to take a look at some of the buttons of this form. The first one which we want to check is the welding clearance. As you can see, I have two joints in this list. Now let's see what this list means. I have two joints here, which means their operation, as you can see in the step fit up, is not completed yet. The system controls the joints which are included in the test package and see which one have a remaining operation. In this case, these two joints, their fit up step has not completed yet. And after that, the welding step too. The system detects if the joints are non-metal, it wouldn't require a welding, so a fit up will be enough. So whenever the fit up step has been done for these joints, this list automatically will be cleared and there wouldn't be any problems in this one. Now let's go to the next one, entity clearance. This one is empty, but the logic behind this one is the same as welding clearance. If any joints of this test package have a remaining entity, you can see the joints and also their type and status here. So let's move on to another test package to see if they have entity clearance. So as you can see in this one, there is one joint which is included in this list, which means the entity clearance, or by entity I mean non-destructive tests, such as radiographic tests, penetration tests, ultrasonic test, and magnetic test. So for joint number 4, there is a penetration test left. And here we have the entity status, which is without request. In this pop-up, we could have 3 entity status. One of them is without request, which you are seeing here, which means in the system it has been registered that this joint needs a penetration test, but it is not, there is no request for this joint. Another status is requested, which means a penetration test has been requested on the system, but it has not performed yet. And the last one is without result, which means the result of the penetration test, whether it is accepted or rejected, has not been registered. So here we have a joint without a penetration test. So if the user later registers the penetration test and enters the results or accepts the penetration test, this list will be cleared and there wouldn't be any joints to see here. And another button here is the test package history sheet. In this form, we have all the test packages and their operations, such as fit up and weld. Also, we have the non-destructive test details and an overall summary of all the joints. Basically, here you can have all the information you need for each line, such as their size, their numbers, and different dates. So let's take a look at this form. We'll have the test package number and the subcontractor, and we also have the date and the pages. And in this form, for each page, we have a unique line. For example, for the first page, we have this line number, and then for the documents number, and the percentages of the radiographic test, and so on. And below you have the list of joints. You can see their end and size, their schedule, shop and field, their revision, their fit up date, weld date, and the welder. Then if there is a radiographic test for each joint, you can see the information and so on. For each joint, if we have information for weld date and welder, which means that this joint has been welded. So if it's empty, it means that the joint has not been welded yet. So let's move on to the pages. As you can see, for this page, there is only one record, since, as I was saying, there is only one line for each page. And the last page, we have an overall summary of the report. The first part, you can see the summary of joints. For example, we have 15 butt welded joints, and we can understand that all of them has been welded. Then we have the size, 178 inch dia, and all of them has been welded. Then we have fillet weld. So 2 of them has been finished. And the next part, we have the information for non-destructive tests. For example, in this case, we have radiographic tests, and you can see how many of them has been tested, plus their size. Also, the system distinguishes the radiographic tests from the original ones, which means it was radiographic for the first time, or the radiographic test, which was because of a penalty. So you can understand which one has been done for the first one and which one has been done as a result of a penalty. And below you have the list of parties, subcontractor, leader, TPA, and the company. And here you can define a fellow, such as same as field inspection. We can gather the signatures electronically. So whenever a party accepts this one, the system will generate the signature below the list. And the last part is the export option. Here you can export this report from a PDF file or HTML and Excel and so on. Okay, let's go back to the test package. If you need to upload any documents related to the test package, you can use this button to upload your documents for each test package. And at the end, if you want to create a dossier of the packages that you have uploaded, you can use this button. By pressing this button, the system will collect all the documents and create a dossier for you.